Eating on holiday with ulcerative colitis can be a challenge, but I'm here to show you that it can be done in a healthy manner. So we're out in Amsterdam and we've just been to the local supermarket and I've got myself my typical breakfast, got some powerful kefir. I've got some cottage cheese for later, it's high in protein. I've got some blueberries, which I love. And we've got a little bit of coffee. That's not really related to breakfast. We've got chia seeds, which are high in omega-3s. And Joe here's got some yogurt in 10% fat. It's gonna taste good. And I've got some stuff back at the hotel, which I'm gonna have with it. So we're gonna put this in the bag and get back to the hotel. So eating healthily, yeah, it can pose a challenge because it's easy to get stuck in the trap of eating processed foods and rich, like restaurant foods. There's not really, you can feel like there's no choice, but really there is, but you have to sort of prepare the meals yourself. Because when you go to like these fast food places or anywhere where they sell highly processed foods, you're going to be getting ingredients that maybe you're not particularly interested in. And that's why when we've been eating out so far, we've been seeking places that prepare foods in a sort of less processed manner. That's one way of putting it, isn't it? Well, the foods are more fresh. Yeah, prepared with fresh ingredients. We're not walking into places where we feel like the foods are going to be unhealthy. We did use our little McDonald's hack on our first day here yesterday, which was to buy a cheeseburger. I got a double cheeseburger, I think. And you take all the ingredients off. And that way, we had the pickles as well. But you take all the ingredients off, you don't have the bun, you don't have any of the other stuff, you don't order anything else from McDonald's, you just get the beef burger. And that way you're getting 100% beef. And that's a good hack that you can use, I guess, in a lot of places in the world, because they've got McDonald's all over the place.
Anyway, you can customise.
Yeah, you can customise it, take off all the processed crap, and then you've got yourself 100% beef anywhere, most places around the world.
And it's cheap.
Yeah, it's very cheap. Well, it's not terribly cheap, but it is cheap.
In comparison to most places, we found that everything's really expensive here.
Yeah, well, Amsterdam has been very expensive, and going to the place we went to is called Albert Heijn. And there's a place called Lidl, obviously, well, not obviously, some of you watching might not have a Lidl, but going to cheap supermarkets is your best bet, and preparing your foods yourself. Now, we did stop off in some restaurants because it just gets hard when you're out and you suddenly are very hungry, and where we're staying in a hotel, we can't cook, which is actually a huge shame because I would actually just prepare myself the meals that I want to eat. But so we're trying our best here. Breakfast is one of those times where we can actually get exactly what we need because it's just simple. The kefir here in Amsterdam has been superb, actually. I'm very happy with it. I love the brand that I showed you called Powerful Kefir. It's very strong, stronger than you get in the UK, and stronger than the kefir that I get from the imported section. It's very, very acidic. It's very powerful. It's not lying when it says it's powerful kefir. But yeah, the thing is, when you're away and you're trying to eat healthy for your ulcerative colitis, you're trying to make good food decisions, it can be tough, but it can be done. But you kind of have to take matters into your own hands, really think about where you're stopping, think about where you're eating, and that's it. We're just crossing the road here. Now the thing is, when I ate out yesterday, and there were ingredients that I wouldn't typically eat at home. So we had this very healthy, like, I don't know what you call it, a poke bowl. It's not Pokemon. We had this healthy poke bowl, all fresh ingredients. It was very nice. But it did have breaded chicken. It had fried breaded chicken. I haven't had that in a long time. It tasted fantastic. But I wouldn't typically eat that sort of thing because it's processed. not ingredients that I'm looking to eat really, but you can let it slide every now and then. But for the most part, just try your best to get foods with less ingredients. On the first night we were here, we went to the hotel restaurant because we got in late, and I had this steak, and it was just, I've never had rare steak before, and it was like completely red on the inside. Very strange, very chewy actually. It was a lot more chewy than I thought.
You couldn't even really tell it was red
When
because
I-
the lighting in there was so intense.
When I saw that the steak was rare, yeah, Joe just said the lighting was so intense that you couldn't actually tell that the steak was raw. I turned my flashlight on, had a look at the steak, and it was like completely red on the inside. I was like, oh, interesting, I've never had rare steak.
But it is meant to be served that way. It wasn't like undercooked, it was just...
Joe said it's meant to be served that way. I don't know if you can hear it or not because the microphone's underneath my beard. So that's why I'm reiterating it. But yeah, so it's a special meal where the steak's supposed to be served rare. And I forgot what my point was now. Basically, it was just very chewy. But it was one ingredient, which was just steak. And it was quite filling. It came with some weird sauce, probably ingredients that I don't want to eat in that. And that's just the way it goes. So, oh, and one thing I want to bring up while we're just chatting now is that I think over the past sort of 3 or 4 months, I've become sort of a diet zealot. And I keep saying this now to people that when I'm talking about diet, it's almost like, yeah, I'm a diet zealot. I'm like very much like, oh, we want to eat this way, eat less ingredients. And the thing, I'm not trying to push it on people. It's just the way I believe that I need to live by to work at my maximum capacity, I guess. Work at my most efficient, like with most energy in the healthiest way, with longevity in mind, get as much nutrients and vitamins into my body. But I've sort of had to let that slide a little bit while we've been away because we can't always get, it's not so easy access to getting the foods that I want. And that's where a hotel has really sort of worked against me in that sense. Whereas if we had an Airbnb, we'd have a kitchen and I could cook myself up some beef and some simple healthy meals. But we can't do that because we haven't got a kitchen. So that's when we end up, I think technically, even though the Airbnbs in this area were more expensive than the hotel, I think ultimately we would have saved some money already by now by not having to eat out, because we could have cooked our meals at the Airbnb, prepared them all and gone out like that.
We probably only would have had to have eaten out like lunch, maybe we were out, but we could have done breakfast and dinner at home easily, couldn't we?
Yeah, we could have eaten all of our meals. We could have just prepared a day's worth of meals at home at the Airbnb before heading out. But in terms of like kefir, and that's been pretty cheap. I was really impressed with the range of the selection of like yogurts and kefirs. It's very good. Sometimes it can be hard to get kefir in the UK. It's kind of a pain in the arse sometimes, and it's a rip-off as well. That Beautiful company, although I like the kefir, it's really expensive for what it is, especially like the little Tesco near my house. £3 for like 300 mils. It pisses me off actually, that price. I just go to Albert Heijn here, 500 mil, it's like €1 something. I'll be honest, I can't remember the price, but it was cheaper. And it's much better, you taste the difference. It is powerful. It's like, something in the name, it says powerful. It is powerful. So yeah, we'll catch up at the hotel and I'll just show you preparing my healthy breakfast while we're on holiday. So we're back at the hotel and I'm going to prepare my breakfast. I've got these little party bowls. That's all I could find at the shop. Got myself some wooden spoons and we've got here our powerful kefir. And my breakfast usually starts off with kefir as the base. Yep, that is powerful. It's very, very sour. So I'm just going to pour a bunch in. And where these bowls are a bit small, I just add some over time. And I've got some oats. That's all that's in here. I actually bought these yesterday, but I didn't get around to getting them in my breakfast yesterday. Yep, that smells like oats all right. Just pour a few in. Maybe a few more. And then we've got peanut butter, 100%. That's the good stuff. I know that not all of you can eat peanut butter, but for those of you that can, take advantage of it because it's very, very good. Calorically dense, so it's really good for if you're underweight, if you've lost weight, it's very good for regaining weight. And it's just great in general for some healthy fats. And it just tastes amazing. I know not all of you are going to agree with that, but like I said, if you can eat peanut butter and it agrees with you, do take advantage of it. Just going to mix that together. Now we've got our pot of kefir, oats and peanut butter. And the next thing to add is your blueberries. Quite a lot there for my tiny bowl, but in they go. Push them in. I'm going to add a few more. And then today you saw me get these chia seeds, so we're going to add these in. I don't know why I'm sniffing it, but just sprinkle a few on. The reason why I like chia seeds is they're high in omega-3s. Supposedly, eating omega-3s can help balance out your omega-3 and omega-6s in your body and reduce your inflammation. So that's why I add that on there. And then to go with that, so basically I'm going to eat this and top it up and carry on eating. And then I've actually brought my supplements with me. So I've got my vitamin D, which is 4,000 international units, mixed with 100 micrograms of vitamin K. So I'm just going to prepare these, get that out. Then I've got my omega-3 tablets. I like to take 2 of these because they used to come in 1,000 milligram pills, and to save money they sell them in 500 milligram pills. And then I've got my magnesium biglycinate. Supposedly this helps with sleep. That's why I take it. Although, if you're going to take it for sleep, take it before bed. But I just take it first thing in the morning. And that is my breakfast whilst away. And we've got some healthy snacks for during the day, like we've got bananas. We've also got a bunch of apples over here, like a massive bag of apples. So we're not going to run out of apples. I've also got grapes. And buying these sort of things and just keeping them in your bag is one way to help you save money. Oh, and I've got some cottage cheese. I've got no way to refrigerate it, so I kind of need to eat it in the next sort of couple of hours, but that's a lot of protein right there. Not very high in calories either. So yes, that's how I'm going to eat healthily whilst I'm not at home and I'm on holiday. Thanks for watching.